So, honorable VIP guests, we'd like to thank you for our sponsors, Sengtang International Limited. That is Mr. Tang. Okay, thank you. Star English, that's international media as well. That's Miss Sophie. Sophie. Thank you for taking to Susie. Really nice response. Jason, where's Jason? Okay, that's that. Thank you. Okay, that's the Business Association. Thank you for Mr. Wang Jianwei. There we go. Every shipping and transport limited. Mr. John Line. You know who they are, so if any business connections you want to make, you can find the people there. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your dinner.
One, two, three.
To the 2017 China-Ireland Investment and Trade Dinner. My name is Li Xiaodong. It's a great honor for me to be the MC of today's gala dinner. So today's event is organized by the Chinese Beifang Business Association in Ireland. And we're very delighted to welcome all our distinguished guests, and we believe that you will have a wonderful evening. But to start with, please allow me to acknowledge and welcome some very special guests who are with us for today's event. And they are the Chinese Ambassador to Ireland, His Excellency Dr. Yue Xiaoyong. the Economic and Commercial Counselor of Chinese Embassy, Ms. Xue He. And also we have the Minister of State for Employment and Small Business, Mr. Pat Brain. And also we have the Minister of State for Food, Forestry and Horticulture, Mr. Andrew Doyle. And of course we have the host of today's event, President of Chinese Beifang Business Association in Ireland, Mr. Wang Jianwei. And also we have a lot of other distinguished guests, and they are Deputy CEO and Head of China at Avalon, Mr. Mo Kaixiang. And also we have the Divisional Manager of Financial Services and the BPO Department at Enterprise Ireland, Mr. Leo McAdams. And also we have the Director of the UCD Institute for Ireland, Professor Li Mingwang. And of course we have the Head of Preparatory Team, Bank of China Dublin Branch, Mr. Tian Jun. And also we have the Deputy General Manager at ICBC International Leasing, Mr. Liu Jun. Also we have the Managing Director and co-owner of Manor Farms, Mr. Vincent Carton. And also we have the Sales Director at Irish Shipping and Transport Limited, Mr. John Lyons. And the Vice President of Business Development at Kerry Group, Mr. John Riley. And the Sales Director of Ashburn Meat Processors, Mr. Peter McMahon. Okay, thank you all very much for joining us. And this is a very long list of distinguished guests, as you can see. And that is something that we express in Chinese as 高朋满座, which means we have all our distinguished and important friends here with us, and we're very delighted. So to welcome actually all our distinguished guests, the President of the Chinese Business Association in Ireland, Mr. Wang Jianwei, is going to address the event and deliver a welcome speech. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank everybody for attending China-Ireland Trade and Investment event. First of all, allow me to thank all members in the society and Mr. Ayman Malone for their great effort in this event. Thank you. Over the past 10 years, China and Ireland have gradually developed a credible trade partnership. We believe after this event, China and Ireland will have an even closer relationship in terms of economy, culture, tourism, and business context. We look forward to see the Chinese and Irish enterprise in here gather together and seeking for investment and business and other area cooperations for the exchange of the love and play a positive role. After global finance crisis, Ireland quickly out of the woods, the Irish economic strategy began to pay more attention to the Asian market, with the great vision of the one way, all the way, proposed by President Xi Jinping and the British temporary referendum. The Irish has become a concentrated investment destination in Europe and the European Union. Under this historical opportunity, Chinese Beifang Business Association in Ireland registered and established in October 2015. The aim of CBAI is to business investment and mutual understanding between China and Ireland to build an innovation and effective partnership between the two countries on development. Membership of the CBAI has many advantages. Among them is awareness of both countries' business culture and language. We share a deep interest in doing business between China and Ireland. We engage with a diverse range of backgrounds, including business, academic, politicians, policymakers, to promote the exchange of best business practices between our two nations. Currently, Cbai have more than 100 members which operate their business in many areas, including investment, trade, property development, consulting, tourism, real restaurant, media, and such. We provide a unique service of platform throughout the year by organizing and hosting special events, including dinners, business lunches, presentations, and similar. Our primary goal is to create and nurture a network of close relationship in key business areas across Ireland and continue to develop and promote the interests of our members and develop the contacts we make. As China take on our more important role in our global business, and as our China trade and exchange continue to depend on growth ever more interlinked and complex, the Cbai work very hard to be an effective engagement platform for business across the island of Ireland. Our slogan is the Chamber of Commerce for everyone. Everyone is for the Chamber of Commerce. In the meantime, China has convened two sessions for all walks of life to develop 13-5 plan. Ireland is not too far behind the introduction of new trade and investment strategy plans to 2020. In the local industry export, inbound tourism, foreign direct investment, the four major areas of international education has a greater growth. This series of goals, the introduction of the policy of the Irish development direction of the next 5 years, the strengthened cooperation with China is a double important weapon to achieve these goals. Our Cbai, all my colleagues in all walks of life, will join hands to work together, believe that after all sincere cooperation, our business will continue to develop. The comprehensive strengths of two countries will be by leaps and bounds. The love will be unbreakable. Connecting business today, creating opportunity tomorrow. I hope everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much and enjoy tonight. Thank you.
First of all, Ambassador, Councillor, Minister Green, Minister Doyle, and distinguished guests. My name is Leo McAdams. I am the representative for Enterprise Ireland. In my role, I look after the international network, which means that we have 32 offices around the world, and I get to travel to those. And in fact, if I think over the last couple of months, where I've been the most, it's probably been to China. And the reason for that is, the importance of the market to us. So many of you are aware of what we do. Enterprise Ireland is a trade organisation. We're part of the government. And what we do is we support Irish-owned companies to grow exports, and on the back of exports to grow employment here in Ireland. Irish companies have performed incredibly well over the last number of years, and in fact have now attained 20 billion in exports. However, a large number of our exports are focused on the UK market, and post-Brexit, what Enterprise Ireland, as part of the government strategy, is doing is to try and help our companies to diversify their exports. And the Chinese market is one market where we really feel that we can do more business. So currently it is our #1 market in Asia, and we really believe over the next 5 years to 2020 that we can actually do a lot more in that market. So lastly, I would just like to thank Cbai for inviting me here this evening. There's a lot of business people in the room this evening, and I really look forward to meeting with as many of you as I can in terms of sharing cards and getting your ideas about how to improve our business relationships with China and Ireland. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much indeed, and we say it's an honour for me to be here with you all here this evening, and I acknowledge the presence of my good friend, Ambassador Yu. I think he has made Ireland very much his home since he arrived here last year, and has been very much mingled with all of us in government and in Parliament as well. And I know he's travelled extensively in Ireland as well, and we meet a lot on many dinners and events. And Ambassador Yu, thank you very much in that as well. Also, I want to also acknowledge the presence of my good friend and colleague, and Minister Doyle. Andrew and myself spent a week in China a few years ago, and it was a visit we enjoyed very much indeed. And we both went on to become ministers, so obviously it was a sign of what was to be the future for us. And Andrew is in the Department of Agriculture at the moment, and they're doing a really good job as well. Also to Leo McAdams, who just spoke. Leo and myself spent a day or two last week in Belgium with a trade mission, and I have to say that I have to praise Enterprise Ireland for the work they do for Irish Indigenous companies throughout the world. And as Leo said, China is a very important partner for us as well. And to all the distinguished guests, to our Chairman David Wang, as well, and to all the distinguished guests at the top table, it's great to see the Bank of China putting a footprint here in Ireland. I know they're opening their office in Hedge Street in 2 months' time, so we're delighted to have that Chinese banking financial institution with us in Ireland, and we wish you well, and I hope that you will grow and grow and grow while you're here in Ireland as well. To our friends in Avalon and to all the other people that are here as well, a warm welcome to you. As I said, I'm delighted to be here to address you. And of course, this event, I believe, recognises the importance of the friendship between Ireland and China. And I'm delighted to say that that relationship between our two countries has gone from strength to strength in recent times. We developed established relationships, diplomatic relationships with China back in 1979. It's a long time ago. It was the year when Pope John Paul II came to Ireland. Some of you may remember that, some of the indigenous population we've here as well. It's also the year that we severed our link with sterling when we became part of the International Monetary Fund as well. And of course, as I've said, relations have grown from strength to strength. We've opened Consul General's office in Shanghai in 2000, and in Hong Kong 2 years ago we opened one where there's a lot of Irish people living in Hong Kong. There's about 7,000 Irish people living in Hong Kong, and it's where we get a lot of the banking institutions as well. So Hong Kong is a very important part of the relationship in the Chinese relationship, can I say that as well. And of course, given the fact that we have the IDA, they have presence in Beijing and Shanghai and in Shenzhen. Enterprise Ireland have a presence in Beijing, Shanghai and Hong Kong. Board BIA are there in Shanghai as well, and Andrew's nodding me in that as well because that's part of his area. And of course, Tourism Ireland have a country manager in China as well. So I think that important relationship has shown what can happen as a relationship goes from strength to strength. And all this has happened over the last number of years, but particularly I think the relationship has grown very much since the visit by Vice President Xi at the time, back in 2012, when he visited Ireland as part of his world tour before he became President of China. Ireland was the only country in the European Union that he visited. I think that itself indicated the strength of the relationship as well. And there has, I suppose, been a very positive goodwill relation between Ireland and China since that visit. In May and June, I know this year as well, we have two very important VIP visitors from China coming to Ireland as well. We have the Party Secretary Hu of Guangdong Province and the Party Secretary Li of Jiangsu Province as well. I think those two visits, together with the visit back in 2015 of Premier Li, will continue to strengthen the relationship between our two countries. And of course our President and our Taoiseach visited China back in 2014 as well. And of course we've had many successful trade missions in the meantime as well. It's interesting, I suppose, I have to say as well, that the Ireland today is very different from the Ireland back in 1979, when diplomatic relations began. It was the year, I think, also when there have been a lot of initiatives between the two governments. We have all, I suppose, seen from time to time our own economy as well has grown in that area as well. Today we have over 2 million people at work, and unemployment has fallen from a high of 15.1% to 6.4% today. And we're also the fastest growing economy in Europe at the moment. So Ireland is a very good place to invest, and it's great to see so many investors here tonight in this group and this business association as well. Ireland's exports, of course, are buoyant as well. The value of our exports are now at an all-time high. In 2016, our exports reached a record level of 240 billion euros. And that's a huge increase of the 2015 figure. Trade exports to China are worth over 11 billion euros. And they have grown substantially since over 2014, when it was an increase of 47%. So I suppose you can see the value of trade missions. We've had 21 Irish government ministers travelling to China since 2012. And as a result of those trade missions in both directions, you've seen the value of our exports has risen substantially over that period of time as well. And I think that will grow and grow in the future as well, as Leo McAdams has said, in relation to Enterprise Ireland, because China is a very important partner. Could I also say, I suppose, as well to you that Ireland is ranked 7th in the most competitive economy in the world, 7th most innovative country, and we're very proud that we've achieved that status, and we can build that even further and further again as well. I'm happy to say also that Ireland remains one of the top destinations globally for foreign direct investment. Why? Well, because Ireland has access to 500 million people in the European Union. We speak English, which is very important for a lot of investors as well. And of course, we're in the Euro. And we would have also the highly regarded best education system. And we have a very young, educated population as well. We have approximately 1,250 of the world's leading companies. They've invested in Ireland. And as a result of that, you see 9 of the top 10 pharma companies in the world are here in Ireland. 9 of the top 10 software companies are here. 13 of the 15 top medtech companies in the world are based in Ireland as well. And we have 15 of the top 25 financial institutions here as well. There's also been increased investment from China in Ireland in recent years as well. We have a strong presence of Chinese companies. I think that's borne here tonight by the many business people that are here, including Chinese banks such as the Chinese Development Bank, the ICBC, Bank of China, as I've mentioned already, CCB, and the Bank of Communications. Other leading Chinese companies here, of course, are the mobile phone companies Hanawa, TravelSky, Hutchkins, and Tencent as well. And we're honoured, can I say this on behalf of the government, and I'm sure Minister Doyle will agree with me as well, to have this Chinese investment in our country. We are a very small country. We export 80% of what we produce. So investment into our country is extremely important to us. I suppose our openness to global trade and investment gives us confidence to face the challenges, as Leo Adams has said as well from Enterprise Ireland. There are a lot of challenges out there for us, particularly the situation with regards to Brexit. And because of those challenges, we have to, I suppose, try and diversify our businesses, grow our business with our friendly trading neighbours in Europe, but particularly in a country like China, with a huge global population of 1.3 billion people, and where I suppose we've seen a huge growth, as I said earlier, in investment over the last number of years. We've launched a new trade strategy in recent times as well, called Ireland Connected. It was launched by our Taoiseach last month, and it takes into account these, as I said, the recent global developments, including Brexit. It's a very ambitious strategy, and it provides a vision for Ireland. You know, like all governments have to have a vision, and we have a vision for the future. So a vision that Ireland, I suppose, at the moment is a very innovative country. It's a very creative country, and it's very resilient as well. We've been through difficult times in the past, and we've survived, and we've grown from strength to strength as well. And let me say to you here tonight, to all our friends in China, we will meet those challenges. We'll meet those challenges with your help and assistance, and we'll meet them with confidence and belief as well. Why? Because Ireland is a good place to work, it's a good place to do business, and it's a good place to live, and should I say, grow old as well. So our aim is to succeed on the international markets, to export more, to attract more investment into our country, and more visitors as well, because I think it's very important that we attract visitors into our country, particularly in the different fields, not just IT, not just communications, but in the field of education as well. We have over 5,000 students here doing postgraduate degrees from China. It's a significant number. In fact, yesterday in Limerick Institute of Technology, I met the vice chair, the vice principal, the vice president of Jining University, which is located about 600 kilometers from Beijing. He was there with his academic team from China. That's in Shandong province, am I right, Ambassador? That university is located. It's a university with 20,000 people, and it is a very important university there, and they're want to link up with us in Ireland as well. As I've said, Ireland draws real strengths from our successes. We are a highly educated and creative workforce. We have the youngest population in the European Union. We are a committed member of the European Union. I think that's very important for us in the challenging times we live at the moment with Brexit. We will negotiate our Brexit negotiations from within our 27 members of the European Union, and our European Union membership has been very important to us because we see great opportunities in that area as well. As I said, we are uniquely placed as an English-speaking country, and China too, of course, is a very modern, dynamic economy, and of course a global leader. The Chinese market is a key element of our government strategy to expand and diversify our exports, and the government attracts great importance to the trade and bilateral links between China as well. And as I said, our exports have grown significantly over the last number of years. We have over 300 Irish companies in China, and those companies have gone from success to success. They're doing business there, and they're partnering with many local Chinese companies and doing business as well. And they will grow and grow as well, as we know. And that's because our agencies are doing a really good job to promote them in China as well. Enterprise Ireland does play a very important role here. It strengthens the trade relationship with China, and they're fully committed to ensure that Irish companies are informed and Chinese companies are informed as well of trading developments in Ireland. As China implements its 5-year plan, I believe that the Irish companies are ideal partners for China in areas such as innovation, entrepreneurship, technology, the financial sector, and it's great to see a real emphasis on the financial sector post-Brexit as well. In fact, many of our trade missions that are taking place at the moment to China focus very much on the whole area of banking and finance as well. And of course the area of research and development and education are two important links to Ireland and China as well. So I'm pleased that the Chinese, that we have, I suppose the one thing I want to say before I finish as well, I would love to see a direct air link between China and Dublin. I think that would really foster and strengthen the relationship between our two countries and would grow trade significantly between Ireland and China. And I hope that can happen in the very near future as well. not just for trade also, but for Chinese tourism as well. We get about 50,000 Chinese tourists into Ireland, and I believe we can grow that sector even more. And we can also encourage more Irish people to travel to China to visit some of the great tourist sites in China, like the Great Wall and the Warriors in China, Xi'an, and all the various other important landmarks that China has to offer as well. So I would hope that would happen in the near future as well. And I just want to say also, I suppose, to you, I look forward to even greater success in our relationship between China and Ireland. I think it will happen because of the fact that we have, I suppose, 2 resident ambassadors. Our agencies are in China, and once we get a direct air link, I think that relationship will grow and grow as well. Because I think brand Ireland is a very good brand in China, and that brand Ireland has made a big difference to us in relation to our exports, particularly in infant milk formula and all the other products like beef and dairy products that Andrew may talk about when he speaks afterwards as well. So once again, I just want to thank the China Business Association of Ireland for inviting me here this evening to talk to you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the evening. And like Leo in Enterprise Ireland, we look forward to meeting you all after supper here tonight. So thank you very much indeed for the
Ambassador, Minister Creed, Councillor Leary, or Minister Breen, sorry, I'm obsessed with my colleague. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, I don't know what her name when she was addressed, but I know her as Cindy, so I'm going to say hi Cindy and Bing, who I know for a long time. Could I say, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me here this evening, and I suppose just to say that Minister Creed and myself are working in partnership, so he's just unfortunately at another event, and while he got to go to China last September, I get to come to Dublin to do the gig here, so I suppose that's fair enough. Female cap. So when we had the audience in the Great Hall of the People, Pat was in front of me, and under his, I can't say he hid it very well, he had a big frame picture of that cap 1 year later, and he said, will you take a photograph of me presenting this to President Xi? So we did that. And as a result was our half-hour slot became 65 minutes when we were afraid we were going to miss our plane to Shenzhen, to which I was told the plane won't be leaving without you, so don't worry. if the President's holding you up, the plane will wait. And God help the rest of the passengers. So you've had a flavour of Ireland as the small exporting nation. Speaking to the Irish business community here, this is something we all know. And just to give a flavour of how important China is from the agri-food sector, I suppose, which I just feel is probably one we see huge potential in. When you have 1 billion people that are potential customers, and we produce enough food to feed the 50-odd million, we only have 5 on the island, or 6 maybe. You can see where we have to get rid of most of it overseas. But in overall terms, in 2016, our agri-food exports to China increased to 780 million, making it our 3rd most important agri-food market after the UK and USA. Dairy products amounted to the biggest end of that, which was 540 million, taking 16% of the total. And second only after nearest neighbours in the UK. Pig meat has gone from 37 million in 2012 to 120 million last year. So you can see the significance, and actually it's interesting that seafood has gone from 7.7 million to 25 million in that same 5-year period. So but China is a vital market to us. We have engaged with the political system, with the officials from veterinary, in particular in your Department of Agriculture, on an ongoing basis. And we have extensive access, as you can see, but we don't as yet have access to beef. So we're working on that. I think the protocol has been signed, memorandum, should I say, has been signed. So we are moving in the right direction, and it is a matter of trust. It's a very important feature of a relationship with China and the Chinese people. So recently, Premier Li publicly endorsed, in 2015, the high quality and safe Irish beef. So we've progressed from that. And Minister Creed was delighted to welcome the visit of Minister Xi last week to Ireland to give an opportunity to sign a protocol for the export of frozen beef. One of the points, and it's been articulated about foreign direct investment in here, one very much potential we see is, and Enterprise Ireland is going to be critical in this, is our companies exporting to China, but as much our companies in our areas of expertise sharing that. So Enterprise Ireland, together with 4 other agencies, Chavis, our research and advisory board, or B, our marketing board, Food Safety Authority of Ireland, and the department who host what we now call Sustainable Food Systems Ireland, modelled somewhat on what ESB International do, selling, and I've just put the pen out of my pocket, by Origin Green, which is what we market our agricultural products on that model, which is based on the production of safe, sustainable and secure food. We're the only country in the world that actually is able to quantify in terms of carbon output per kilo of beef, per litre of milk, and to quantify our agricultural output in terms of the environment. So it's something very important. Behind all of that, there's quality assurance schemes, there's traceability, and it's something that's really highly demanded in export markets. Like I say, we have to export virtually 80% of what we produce. We do import a lot of product as well, but we export 80% of what we produce in terms of agri-food, whether it's meat, milk, beverages, fish, whatever, cheeses, we have to export it. So we have become very accustomed to dealing with over 200 countries globally and meeting their standards and demands. So with Enterprise Ireland and all the other agencies that we have out there across the globe and in China, I think it's something to reassure the Chinese business community and the Chinese government and administration of the security of what it is that we do. We've earned that reputation the hard way, and we are very proud of it and we want to keep it. So I think it's important that it has to do what it says on the tin, I think very basically, and that's what we strive to do at all times. So I'm very honoured to be asked to speak here. I think it's events like this which are as much about networking and getting to know and build up relationships and trust and friendships that are really important. And for us, it is important that we send a message, whether it's through our agencies, our embassies, our trade missions, or indeed our chambers of commerce, etc., that we are open for business. We've come a long way in 5 or 6 years, and we plan to stay there and to grow on it. So that's enough of the formal bit. Could I just say it's nice to see some familiar people, for friendly faces, and including my colleague who, in my first few years in the Dáil Parliament 10 years ago, was in the office next door, Councillor O'Leary. Always had a good wise crack joke. Crack, you have to be very careful when you use crack in terms of people who don't understand what we mean, but we spell it differently, by the way. So yeah, it's great to be here, and I hope everybody gets to build a new relationship or two after this evening, and hopefully you can take it from us that we are here as the government to assist any way we can to build up trade, investment and friendships with China. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Doyle, for the wonderful speech. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, with great honor, I would like to invite our final speaker of today's gala dinner. Please join me to welcome the Chinese Ambassador to Ireland, His Excellency Dr. Yue Xiaoyong.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening again, and so honored and great pleasure to see all of you are here. I see many familiar friends and familiar faces and good friends and some new friends. Well, I'm happy to know you today, and I'm sure from now on we are going to have our deeper relations, and we are going to be good old friends. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all, two ministers and my very good friends, and also some other friends. The Sino-Irish relations has been achieved so much. It is because of you. And we thank you for your support and your contribution to the growth of the Sino-Irish relations. And also thank you for your support and assistance to my work and our embassy's work. It is really my great pleasure to attend today's China-Ireland Investment and Trade Dinner hosted by Cbai, and take this opportunity to again share some information and my feeling of our relations. China Beifang Business Association in Ireland was founded in 2015 and is quite influential in the business circle now, and you earn your name by work. Cbai has been actively supporting the work of our embassy's commercial counselor's office and also Chinese Invested Business Association since its establishment. In the past years, Cbai has organized the China Youth Education Seminar and participated in the investment of real estate projects and many other business activities in Ireland. The members of the Cbai also contribute great efforts to the healthy development of bilateral trade and investment cooperation between China and Ireland. Really, I really agree with two ministers and the President Cbai said just now about our relations. If you look at the growth and development of China's economy and our social development, we indeed made quite some progress. According to the China's custom, bilateral trade grow. Among all this, I think Sino-Irish relations is really a very, very good example. If you compare both with those in Europe and those in the world in general. According to the China's custom, bilateral trade between our two countries in 2016, last year, grew by 13.75% to $1.1 billion. As one of the only 3 Euro unions countries maintaining trade surplus with China. Ireland was also one of the top 3 EU member states in terms of its trade growth with China, and China has become the second largest market for Irish dairy and pork products. Those could not be achieved without the joint efforts made by the business circle of both countries, including the members of Cbai. As predicted by Ambassador Paul Kavanagh, early this year as we celebrate our new year, the bilateral trade will surpass 10 billion euro by the year 2020. I believe this goal is far from ambitious. We also have remarkable progress in terms of China's investment to Ireland. Early this year, Avalon Holding Limited. I'm happy to see Avalon is represented here also. Avalon Holdings Limited, the aircraft leasing company owned by China Hainan Airliner Group, announced the completion of the acquisition of the aircraft leasing business of CIT Group and become the number 3, the top largest aircraft leasing company in the world. Chinese investment has created over 2,000 jobs in Ireland, and I believe this figure will continue to grow in future. Today, our guiding principle in China in our efforts for China's modernization is to join hands with all our friends and partners in the world to build a community of shared future. In Chinese, we call it 我们共同构建人类命运共同体. In so doing, we have been emphasizing peace development, win-win cooperation, and common prosperity. Domestically, our key policy goal has been to keep our reforms and opening up while maintaining a stable growth. Externally, we have been aiming to create conducive environment for reaching domestic goals by devoting to world peace and global development through mutually beneficial cooperation with the rest of the world. Just yesterday and the day before yesterday, when our Premier Li Keqiang led the delegation from European Union, and I remember our Premier said to European friends to say China is determined to continue to develop relations with European friends, and will join hands with the European Union to let stability prevail over uncertainty. For decades of China's success, raised by Chinese people's living standard by a dramatic margin, China's GDP grew from $218.5 billion in 1978 to $11.2 trillion in 2016 last year, a growth of more than 50 times in 38 years. China's annual trade grew from $20.6 billion to $3.69 trillion last year. Our gross national income per capita grew from about $200 from the start of our reform in 1978 to nearly $8,000. China has managed to provide food, clothing, and housing for more than 1.3 billion people, while lifting over 700 million people out of poverty. In 2017, we have projected China's GDP growth at 6.5%. On the basis of the $11 trillion economic scale, a 6.5 growth would help create 11 billion new jobs. And of course, our actual growth this year from the first and second quarter is 6.9%. So we are confident to give this all these numbers, and if you give a simple calculation, all these years China's growth from all those measures is by hundreds of times, and this gives us the confidence that this growth is to continue, and we have confidence to, based on this confidence, we are going to have even wider and deeper relations and cooperation with our partners. Looking ahead, we have full confidence for the realization of our what we call two centenary goals. The first aims at 2020, when the Communist Party of China celebrates its 100th birthday, China's GDP and per capita income will be doubled again on the basis of 2010. The second goal sets for 2049, when the new China People's Republic of China gets her 100th anniversary. A strong, democratic, civilized, harmonious, modern socialist country will be completed. While making strides towards the modernization goals, China has made tremendous contributions to the world economic development. From 1978 till now, China has attracted $1.7 trillion from foreign investment. Just now, I'm happy to see from Minister Doyle's presentation that Minister Greens, that there are 300 Irish companies now operating in China, and we'll be happy to see the number will be increased. China also has made more than $1.2 trillion of direct investment in other countries and regions. During the 5-year period, from 2016 to 2020, that is our 13th 5-year plan, China will import $8 trillion of goods, take in $600 billion of investment, inward investment, and our investment abroad will amount to $750 billion, and outbound tourists will reach 700 billion in total. Opportunities are enormous, and we hope and expect Ireland and the European Union partners and friends can have your satisfactory share of all these figures. Meanwhile, China is taking new initiatives for international cooperation in large scale. Those initiatives aim to facilitate not only China's development but also its collaboration with its international partners. The most eye-catching and noteworthy, I think many of my friends here also already know, and I heard a lot of people when I came here already talking of these initiatives. That is the One Belt, One Road. That is indeed an ambitious initiative and has been embraced positively by over 100 countries. Nearly 50 intergovernmental agreements and more than 70 interministerial cooperation documents have been signed. I'm delighted to know that Ireland has also become a participant by the end of last year, already this year. My friend and also your colleagues, Mr. Ogan Murphy, the Minister of State for the Department of Finance, has confirmed that he will attend the Belt and Road Forum on International Cooperation in Beijing in mid-May this year. That symbolized the official participation of Ireland onto this initiative. Another Chinese grand initiative is the founding of the AIIB, Asia International Investment Bank, enjoying an authorized capital of $100 billion. The bank is a world-class multilateral development lending agency specializing in financing infrastructure projects in Asia. A month ago, Ireland's participation for AIIB membership was also officially approved by the board of the bank. This bank, initiated by China and has become already a typical international bank. And now the expanded AIIB family has 70 members. The creation of AIIB is groundbreaking and refreshing. It is the first multilateral development financial institution proposed by a developing country like China or by any developing country, and widely accepted by the international community. And I'm also happy to see this country also succeeded in inviting the first president of the bank, Jin Liqun, come to visit this country, and he met His Excellency the Prime Minister Taoiseach. So, as our President Xi Jinping pointed out in Davos in January this year, China is both a beneficiary and a significant contributor to global development. As China's reform and opening up drive press on, it will provide continuous impetus for the world economy and for the relations and cooperation between China and Ireland among all of our international, regional partners and friends. We will open our arms to the people of all other countries and welcome them aboard on the express train of China's growth and development. And I want to emphasize, Ireland and relation of China and Ireland is really a role model, has become a good example of China's foreign policy and our relations with the rest of the world. And we are all going to continue to join our efforts to strengthen these relations and to enjoy the common prosperity and the common development in the months, years to come. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Ambassador. Have your attention, please. I hope you have enjoyed the food and wine we prepared for you. And I hope, of course, that you have enjoyed the conversation with your new friends or your old friends. So now, as I promised earlier, we have some entertainment here. That is the raffle. So I hope everyone's looking forward to it because we prepared two very nice gifts or prizes. The first prize is prize of charm, and the second prize is the prize of luck. So for the prize of charm and prize of luck, both are representing traditional Chinese culture of tea as well as the drinking culture. Drinking culture is especially important if you're doing business with Chinese people or in China. So anyway, so we're going to actually announce what is the prize for the prize of charm. That is a high quality, a box of high quality pu'er tea. It's not pour, it's pu'er. I know it sounds exactly the same. Anyway, yeah, so that's different. It's not pour. It's definitely making you happy. So that is a very good quality black tea, which is different from the black tea we have here in Ireland. So this kind of tea doesn't contain any caffeine, and you can drink this anytime during the day, and it's very good for your health, and you can drink it even before going to sleep, and it will help you to go to sleep as well. So this kind of tea is very special also for another reason. It can be stored for a long time. So basically, in other words, it lasts forever, and the longer you keep it, the better the fragrance and the taste. So this is a very unique kind of tea, and definitely it's very lucky to have this kind of tea for you to drink, especially to enjoy when you have friends coming over. Okay, so everyone, I would like to invite one of our distinguished guests. Join me here on the stage and draw a lucky number. So to draw the first lucky number, I would like to invite the Economic and Commercial Counselor of Chinese Embassy, Ms. Xue He, to the stage. Now Ms. Xue will draw one lucky number for us. Now, Ms. Xue, would you like to announce? Okay, I will announce. Okay, so it's a 3-digit number, everyone. Of course, everyone has a 3-digit number. The first digit in this number is 1. Okay, so very good. And the last digit, also the third digit of this number is 8. Okay, so first one is 1, the third digit is 8. Anyone?
Yes.
Oh, there are many actually. Okay, so the middle digit, the second digit is the most important. Sure, would you like to announce? 0. Oh. It's 0. So 108. Congratulations. Yeah, so Ms. Xue said he plays badminton really well, and she enjoys playing badminton as well. So maybe they can, just communicate through the badminton game sometime. The raffle 第2轮抽奖现在开始. So the next round, as I introduced earlier, this is representing the culture of tea, and the second round is representing China's drinking culture. And the prize we prepared is a bottle of high quality Chinese Mao Tai liquor. So anyone know Mao Tai here? Yeah, so you tried it? Yeah, so you know how it tastes like. You hate it at first and then you'll love it eventually. And if the first time drinking it, my suggestion is no shots. One little sip at a time, okay? Otherwise it's a bit too much. Okay, so everyone, now we are going to invite again another very distinguished guest to join me here on the stage and to draw the lucky number of this prize winner of Mao Tai liquor. Now please join me to welcome the Chinese ambassador to Ireland, His Excellency Dr. Yue Xiaoyong, to the stage. So ambassador, can you just roll one ticket? Okay, everyone, the first digit of this 3-digit number is again 1. And the final digit of this 3-digit number is again 8. What are the chances, everyone? So now, Ambassador, would you like to announce what is the middle number?
1.
So it's 118, everyone. Congratulations. Please join the
Drink up like the Chinese.